This broadcast is coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is Prime News on SABC 3. We present to you your top stories this evening.
Enough is enough. It ends today. We're going to stay here for as long as we want until we get a solution.
Gauteng MEC for Roads and Transport, Kidiboni Diale Tlhabela, says Maponya Mall in Soweto will open tomorrow. This as protesters continue with road blockades.
Investigations are currently underway. We have summoned all role players.
6 inmates and a police officer died when their vehicle collided with a heavy-duty truck on the R101 road between Mokopane and Mokopong in Limpopo.
Those issues of concern must be resolved in parallel to proceeding with the holding of the First National Convention.
And the presidency says President Cyril Ramaphosa is confident that the National Dialogue Convention will go well tomorrow. A very good evening to you and welcome to Prime News on 3. My name is Beki Butubomulete. Tonight we bring you comprehensive coverage of the day's top stories. Let's get into the agenda of what is currently influencing the globe. Gauteng MEC for Roads and Transport, Kidiboni Diale Tlhabela, says Maponya Mall in Soweto will open tomorrow. This as protests persist in Pimville, where residents are maintaining the street blockades amid ongoing concerns of the lawlessness of taxi operators in the country. Last night, an e-hailing service operator was shot and killed, and a passenger sustained gunshot wounds in what is suspected to be a planned shootout.
Gauteng Velase, who passed on yesterday, and the family was here in Gauteng, and they have done their rituals and have collected his spirit, and they are en route to KZN as I talk to you. One of the issues is the community was concerned that the e-hailers are not allowed to enter the center, that is Maponya Mall. And the taxi industry, there are allegations that the taxi industry is bullying other modes of transport, like the e-hailers. And the center manager presented to us that they have created a platform where councillors, e-hailing services people sit, as well as taxi industry and law enforcement in Soweto. They sit together to deal with the conflicts and the disputes that they continue to have. The mall will open tomorrow morning and it will continue operating as usual. The public transport operators in that area will continue to provide the service.
In our next story, another inmate has died after a police van collided with a heavy-duty truck on the R101 road between Mokopane and Mokopong in Limpopo. This brings the number of inmates who have died in the accident to 6, as well as a police officer. The officer was transporting 11 inmates to the Mokopong Magistrates Court when he attempted to overtake the truck and collided with it before overturning. The surviving inmates were taken to hospital for treatment.
A crash that claimed the lives of a police officer and 5 inmates. Preliminary reports indicate that this police van was trying to overtake this truck when they collided. The truck driver escaped unharmed. Police say investigations are underway to ascertain the cause of the crash.
Just by this intersection, there was a truck that was moving towards the direction of Nabomspruit, while also our police van was traveling in the same direction. I'm also told that the truck was about to make a turn in this very intersection, as our police were also moving through this very same direction. Then they collided in the process. But let me say that investigations are currently underway. We have summoned all role players.
The family of the police officer and that of one of the inmates rushed to the scene. The inmate's family was waiting to support him in court when they were informed of the crash.
The family are devastated. There's nothing much that they're saying except to say to them is traumatizing, because this for them, for their family, is the second incident. So for now, I can say that I had broken, but well, time will heal. A mistake has happened.
Authorities say investigations will also look into whether the officer was transporting the 11 inmates on his own. Beman Baloi, SABC News, Mokopong.
The presidency has dismissed claims that the much-talked-about national dialogue is mired in controversy. This follows the withdrawal of seven foundations of eminent leaders from the First National Convention planned for tomorrow in Pretoria. These foundations include the Thabo Mbeki, Steve Biko Foundation, F.W. de Klerk, and Desmond and Leah Tutu Foundations, amongst others.
The president, with all humility, expressed his anxiety over the postponement of the National Convention because a great deal of preparation had taken place for the National Convention to take place and commence the dialogue process. Invitations had gone out. Delegates representing organizations from across society had begun making preparations to attend the National Convention. Therefore, it will have been a great deal of inconvenience, not only to just 7 foundations, but to close to 100 civil society organizations and many other sectoral groups that had committed to attend the National Convention. And therefore, the President felt that those issues of concern must be resolved in parallel to proceeding with the holding of the First National Convention.
Meanwhile, SABC News politics reporter Nhlanhla Kgatlane looks at the road leading to the launch of the event.
Forging ahead with the National Convention, the new steering committee, known as the Convention Organizing Committee, has given the assurance that all is ready for the day.
Over the last 4 days, so much was done compared to the past several months. That I can say as a matter of fact.
The national dialogue has not garnered universal support. The process has been beset by challenges, and it's not only the legacy foundations that are dissatisfied with how things are going. The second largest party in the government of national unity, the Democratic Alliance, has also pulled out.
This country is bleeding. And while our people are suffering, the government wants to now spend hundreds of millions of rands on a national dialogue.
NEDLEC is positive about the initiative.
We have systems in place as NEDLEC to make sure that all costs associated with any project we are involved with.
Meanwhile, political analyst Sandile Swana has made a bleak prediction of the national dialogue.
The ordinary South Africans are going to gain zero. The negative GDP growth rate, the unfavorable GDP growth rate, which lies below 1%, is going to continue. Unemployment is going to escalate to 15 million. This process is not going to help us.
Nhlanhla Kgatlane, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Welcome back. The ad hoc committee established to investigate wide-ranging allegations of threats to national security in the country made by KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi is hoping to finalize its terms of reference and a draft program by next week. Members of Parliament were briefed by Parliament's legal team today on draft terms of reference, which parties have also made inputs on.
MPs across parties agree that the importance of this committee's work cannot be underestimated.
This is probably one of, it's going to be a historical ad hoc committee on what we are doing here. So we do need to have the highest structures or the highest level of staff here in the meeting.
This committee is to look into the allegations of rot and corruption within the SAPS made by Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi last month. By the 31st of October, it needs to table its report to the National Assembly, which will include a view on how to improve policing and governance within the SAPS.
The committee does not possess powers to investigate, I think, in the true meaning of the word. We understand that though that word emanates from an emotion adopted by the House, the word investigate raises some questions.
Absolutely, that the meeting should be held in Parliament, because, of course, all MPs involved have accommodation, have transport, all of which would cost enormous amounts.
We shall ventilate these matters and adopt the terms of reference as soon as it is reasonably possible, because owing to the fact that we have given a strict time period to conclude the work of the ad hoc.
The legal team will then have to look at the final document, its legalities, and make sure that it complies with the law.
Abra Barbia, SABC News, Parliament.
The bail application of 55-year-old Zwelipansi Skhosana has been postponed by the Umzimkhulu Magistrates Court. Skhosana is charged with the murder of ANC Youth League Secretary General Sindiso Magaqa. He was gunned down in Umzimkhulu in 2017.
While 55-year-old Zwelipansi Skhosana made his bail application at the Umzimkhulu Magistrates Court today, he appeared calm as, of course, the proceedings began. But outside court, there were quite a number of ANC supporters who had come to basically follow the proceedings. Of course, you'd recall that Zwelipansi Skhosana was arrested earlier this month, following, of course, an intensive investigation which was conducted by the police's political killings task team. This particular arrest follows the confession which was made by Mr. Sibusiso Ngcengwa during his court proceedings at the Pietermaritzburg High Court, where he confessed to have killed Sindiso Magaqa, who is the former ANC Youth League Secretary General, in 2017. During his confession, Mr. Ngcengwa implicated other people as well in the murder, saying that he was not alone, but of course he was working with others. And one of those people that was implicated was Mr. Skhosana, who is the former municipal manager of the Umzimkhulu magistrate, or rather municipality.
Up next, the trial of Duduzile Zuma Sambudla, daughter of former President Jacob Zuma, has been set for the 10th to the 21st of November in the Durban High Court. Zuma Sambudla faces charges of inciting public violence and terrorism, and this is in connection with the riots from July 2021.
At the pre-trial conference, Zuma Sambudla was donning a T-shirt that read "Modern Day Terrorist." She was jovial in court as she greeted MK members seated in the gallery who came out in their numbers. The pre-trial conference focused on admissions from the state and defense ahead of the main trial. The court heard that the state is expected to call 6 to 8 witnesses to the stand. 3 of the witnesses expected to testify will be a social media expert who will give evidence on the alleged social media updates. The state alleges that Zuma Sambudla used social media to incite, instigate and coordinate violent incidents and looting in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. The defense says she admits to having an X account formerly known as Twitter and that it will call 2 witnesses to testify. These include a social media emoji expert.
We've been ready for 4 years now, yes. But I'm obviously in high spirits and looking forward to November.
Her legal team has made a plea to the National Director of Public Prosecutions to review and set aside the decision to indict her.
Previous occasion, the defense did advise that they were going to make representations to the National Director, and we haven't been told that those representations have been made as yet.
The trial is expected to start on the 10th of November and will run for 11 days until the 21st of November. I am Jade Paulser in Durban.
Thank you for staying with us. Correctional Services is moving ahead with the rollout of bakeries across its centres. Minister Pieter Groenewald says that this will save his department billions of rands in outsourcing fees. Groenewald says the bakeries will be self-sustainable and will depend less on state funding.
The Westville Correctional Centre in Durban, home to over 10,000 inmates. Today, the facility officially opened its bakery. He says he's thankful to the officials to assist him to choose better. He now will be able to open his business once released from prison to support his family. 13 such bakeries have been introduced across the country, and the government says it's saving millions.
We save only on this or in this bakery 3 million annually for the taxpayer. If you add all the other activities for self-sufficiency, the previous year we have saved the taxpayers about R500 million. We're producing our own vegetables, we have piggeries, we have abattoirs, and I want to see that we enhance that.
Meanwhile, Groenewald says they remain concerned about overcrowding in prisons and are considering legislation to assist the department deport over 26,000 foreign prisoners. Mlondi Khatebe, SABC News, Durban.
And now it's time to play ball. The South African women's rugby team is off to the Women's Rugby World Cup in England today. The Springbok women were sent on their way at a sponsors' function in Sandton on Wednesday evening. They are oozing confidence, knowing that their goal is indeed achievable.
The president of SA Rugby, Mark Alexander, sent the players on their way. And in a rare show of emotion, he broke down during his message.
As you depart, know this. South Africa is mobilized. We're behind you, we're with you. We're proud of you.
And while hope springs eternal in South African hearts for them to do well on the world stage, the reality is that their record at World Cup tournaments is nothing to write home about. They have won only 3 matches in 4 tournaments.
Just winning any pool game would be, breaking some type of record, because we've only won 3 out of 18 in all of the World Cups that we've actually participated in. So I think that will be really, really great. And then taking it game for game, but the bigger goal is probably getting into that quarterfinals.
True to the fabric of their team culture, the team also took to the stage to join in on the festivities.
Actually, this is who we are in general. You can see with the vibes, the energy and the entertainment around. I think we're more of a fun team, active team, so we just enjoy this kind of moments.
It is always like that. Equity is in our blood. Music forms an integral part of who we are as a team, whether we're celebrating or we just come back from a loss. It's a beautiful way for us to express ourselves.
The Springbok women opened their campaign against Brazil in Northampton on the 24th of this month. Samantha Mari, SABC News, Sandton.
Still on your rugby news, while Australia scrambled to address their fly-half crisis with the inclusion of veteran James O'Connor for Saturday's Rugby Championship opener against South Africa in Johannesburg, the Springboks are calm and collected as they look to manage their squad and grow their winning record at Ellis Park. The Boks are aiming at consistency against Australia, who are in the process of a rebuilding phase.
The Boks have never lost to Australia at Ellis Park, and they are also going for a 5th win on the trot against the Wallabies. Couple that with the current strength and depth in the squad, and the Boks are well placed to start their Rugby Championship campaign on a positive note. Edwil van der Merwe has more tries than caps for the Boks and credits the culture in the national team setup for his development and that of his teammates.
It's a very good thing for South African rugby. I think we're in a very healthy position and privileged to have this amount of competition in the squad. And the nice thing is that everyone helps everyone to be their best for the Springboks. So yeah, just for me, I'm learning as much as possible and I'm trying to implement it into my game.
The Boks have noted the return of James O'Connor and anticipate he will be a key factor on Saturday. Fullback Apelele Fasi says while it is a positive move for Australia, it won't affect how the Boks are approaching the championship opener.
I don't think it changes how we're going to approach this game. We want to approach this game the way we know how the Springboks play. And yeah, I think for them, it's having James O'Connor, like you said, all head there, experienced guy would be good for them. Yeah.
Simon Burke, SABC News, Johannesburg.
It is now time for us to take you where science meets the skies. Your daily weather update is next.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Time for us to look at those conditions over the country. It is quite raining over the interior of the Northern Cape, stretching into parts of Free State, all the way into parts of KwaZulu-Natal and the Eastern Cape for tonight. It is going to be a clear night over Gauteng, Limpopo and Mpumalanga for tonight. But for tomorrow, we see a little bit of intensifying with a 60% chance of showers and thunder showers expected over Kabegas and also the surrounding areas, and also those scattered showers and thunder showers as we move towards the Maletswai and Komani. For the rest of the country, it's just isolated over the central parts over Free State, stretching into the north and northwest for tomorrow. But clear conditions are still persisting over parts of Limpopo for tomorrow, whereas it's going to be a cloudy day over Gauteng and also Mpumalanga. Overnight temperatures, it is going to be a cold night over most of the country. We are talking freezing conditions over Sandland. We're expecting a low of -19 over Cape Town. Upington dropping down to 8. 10 over Bloemfontein, 7 over Pretoria and Polokwane. Durban expecting a low of 17. Maximum temperatures for tomorrow, Durban at a high of 24, with those rainy conditions for tomorrow over Durban and surrounding areas, and also those scattered showers and rain over Komani. We're expecting a cool day tomorrow with those rainy conditions. We're expecting a high of 23. Johannesburg at 24. It is going to be a warm day as we move into Musina and Palabora, with Palabora peaking at 31. Upington at a maximum of 20. Let's turn our focus now for Saturday. It is quite raining over Gauteng, Limpopo, stretching all the way into Free State, the northwest, all the way into KwaZulu-Natal and the Eastern Cape. In terms of temperatures, it is going to be a warm day over Richards Bay, stretching into Mpumalanga, Gauteng, and also Limpopo with those rainy conditions. But it should be cold as we move towards the western parts of the country over the Northern Cape, stretching all the way into the mother city. We're also expecting a 30% chance of showers and rain over Cape Town for Saturday. Cool conditions as we move into that interior of the Eastern Cape for Saturday, but should be a cold day over Sunderland. That's all the weather I have for you. Stay tuned.
Our news day. As we sign off for tonight, we leave you with a promise that we will be back with you tomorrow. Until then, from myself and the team, stay ahead of the curve. Good night.